Hello and welcome to another episode of Cooking with Unity. I'm your host Maximilian Moreau, and with me is my tech Philip Wilson.
I'm here!
So we're both here today. We both were not here last week because I had some back trouble, and I apologize about that. I didn't even tell anyone, but no one seemed to know, so it's okay. So on our last episode, we had a ship going through the thing. We have the shooting, which we had in like the first couple episodes, and we have the rings, and we have the other things, the arches, and we now have barrel rolls. But there is.
You know what else we had?
What else do we have?
Me getting frustrated at Blender.
Oh yeah, we also had Phil getting frustrated at Blender. I think we both had a frustrating last episode, honestly.
Yeah.
So on the last episode, we also still had this bug. I thought I had fixed it at the end, but we had not. If you do a lot of barrel rolling, come on, barrel roll for me. Why is it? Okay, so you'll see that the ship is no longer pointing in the way that it's shooting anymore. And we had a couple of solutions provided to us in comments. The big problem that we're doing here is we go into our ship.
It's in the,
the bank thing. Into our bank code here. We're using the transform.rotation.Euler angles, sorry. And what's happening here is this is actually giving us the final rotation of the object. This includes all of the parents above the object in the calculation. And so even though I was only adjusting things on the z-axis, this whole thing was actually taking the initial state into account of all of the rotations that had been applied to all of the parent objects. So what that means is what we want here instead of rotation is actually we want local rotation. And this next one I'm going to actually delete it down to the... so we have local rotation here. We're going to also need local rotation on here. And finally, we change the local rotations when we're actually changing them. And now this should work without the trouble that we were having. So now if we do the barrel roll, and I can barrel roll off the screen for a while, and it'll actually return back to where it wants to be. The other suggestions that I was given was to just update the current rotations, like after we changed the local rotation here, or rather after we changed the rotation here, make sure that the changes in the X and Y are respected by the current rotation, which that fixes it because all of a sudden the rotations still make sense, even though it's taking all the other things into account. It's counter-rotating to deal with that. Mm-hmm. We don't need to be doing all that, so we just switched it to local rotation, and it should be all good now. So what did we have today? So first off,
I did finish my model from the last time. Apparently it was working fine. It's just I was in a accidental debug menu in Unity, and I felt
Gotta
silly.
hate those accidental debug menus.
Well, it's not very apparent that you were in that menu.
So yes, 2 texture maps for me on this one.
Yeah, I actually made it with 2 different texture maps, and it's a new model, of course, as well.
All right, texture jet thing. All right, let's put this into the models folder, and let's go ahead and create.
So it's a little bit more colorful.
So this is basically kind of doing a vertex colors type thing, except using a texture map, right? So you have the colors here. You're just basically specifying some place in the middle of these 4 colors.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you can change them to whatever you wanted to.
Yeah.
Make sure that you calculate the normals and get rid of the rig and animation.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. All right. So we want to calculate normals.
Oh, and the scale factor needs to be 1.
Scale factor should be 1. Whoops, not 10.01. And then we don't want anything here.
It has no rig.
And we don't want animation here.
It has no animations. I think that's it.
And it already picked up its colors. So the reason it automatically picked up the textures is because we dragged in the textures first. Anytime that you're importing a model with textures, drag in the textures with the appropriate names into the project first, and it should find them in its process. If it doesn't find them, you can manually fix it up by going into the materials folder that was generated for the object and adjusting the texture here and selecting the appropriate thing in the project here, which Unity has done for us in this case.
Pretty cool.
So I'm going to go ahead and throw these two materials in where they should be, and we're going to get rid of this materials folder. And let's go ahead and make it so that the jet now...
I streamlined the jet a little bit too.
So it's jet, right? We need to see where the... Wait, this isn't...
That's different jet.
Oh, we didn't create a prefab for it yet. Okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Get rid of this one. Alright, so in this one we have, where is our actual...
I think it's in
model,
jet model.
Jet model, here we go.
It's that cube.
It's the cube.
So if you go into the new one, it'll be the cube as well. I know it's called cube, it's just kind of strange. But that is
it's actually the mesh? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Why did you call it cube?
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I may have called it cube,
cool,
but I just didn't know it.
Alright, that was confusing a little, but that works, Alright, so all we have to do is just swap out
the cube with
the cube with the new cube. Is that actually how it works?
Yeah. Then textured jet thing.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. We don't want to swap out the cube with the new cube. We want to swap it out with textured jet thing. Huh. I don't like all these random freaking values that are in here right now. What's this lamp? What is a lamp? What the heck's lamp?
Maybe it's the light source that came with the...
Oh, okay.
Honestly, what you're probably really...
Alright, so I'm gonna create a new prefab out of this, whatever. Create prefab jet model. Bam. So this is our new thing here. And now if we need the camera still in here somewhere. Oh wait, this is a lie camera.
No, that's a lie camera. The lamp is also
so both of these are lies.
Correct.
Okay, so we just need to replace jet model with this. So this is simple. So I'm just going to, for sake of ease, I'm going to copy this component. I'm going to delete the jet model completely. Yeah, okay. Continue, whatever. Now we throw the jet model into here. What is this? Oh, it goes into jet. Okay. And now we take the jet model and we paste in component values. There we go. And why is it so close to the screen?
Now?
Oh, did we change what was the import size for jet thing? 0.5, okay.
Oh, that's why. So we can just change
0.5. Apply. There we go. And so now we have our basic texture mapped jet model.
I need to make new bullets.
Yep, that's something you could work on. Alright, so one of the things I asked is that you do it in two textures here so that we could replace one of the materials with a flashy jet thrust type thing. So let's go ahead and do that.
Okie dokie.
What are we doing?
We're replacing?
Yeah. So you basically set it up as two separate texture maps, and then you can see in the materials we have the ship colors 1 and ship colors 2. So if we change ship colors 2 to something else, so like if we got rid of this texture, you'll see that it turns gray.
Or
and then we could change.
Put it as the grid or whatever you want.
Yeah, you could put whatever you wanted there. What we're going to do is we're going to basically just randomly change the main color to a full bright hue, and we're going to use I forget if we've used it before. Have we used the hue saturation brightness thing from?
I don't think we have. We might have once.
We might have once. So we're going to do it again if we haven't done it before. I think we used it for the RTS at one point. But so I'm going to hit save scene while we're here, and we're going to grab something called so Unity, by default, colors are handled using RGB, which most people are used to, but it's not a very logical way of working with color. A much easier way is hue, saturation, brightness. So I'm going to search for hue, actually just HSB Unity, and you'll see this HSB color. And this is a nifty little script that allows you to convert between RGB and HSB really easily. So we're going to create a new script. We're calling it HSB color because that's what the class is going to be called when we paste it in here. And we're going to paste this in here and hit save. So I'm not going to go over what this does, but I'm sure that if you know a little bit of math and you look up a little bit of color theory, you'll understand. This is just a conversion system between RGB and HSB. So what we can do now is I'm going to create a script called cycle color, cycle material color. And in this script, we are going to just have it so that, actually cycle is not the right word for this. I'm going to call it random material color. And I'm going to go ahead and make it so that we have access to, actually I'm going to go one more step here, random material hue. Actually change this real quick. Now that I've decided to change it 4 times from what it was. So random material hue, we're going to take public float saturation, public float brightness. This allows us to tweak the color a little bit after the fact. We'll probably be keeping these at 1.0. As a matter of fact, let's default them to 1.0F in both cases. And all we're going to do is we're going to set up a HSB color new color equals new HSB color. Alright, so we want the hue, saturation, brightness. So the saturation, and actually let's go ahead and put alpha here too, just in case we cared about that. Is that a Power Rangers reference?
Yes.
You geek. Alright. HSB color, float. So hue, we're going to do random dot value. We don't even care because it's random dot value returns a value between 0 and 1, which is exactly what we want for this.
Yeah.
And then we just pass in our saturation, brightness, and alpha. Once again. And and now all we have to do is change the render.material.color equals new color.toColor. The reason you say toColor is because new color is an HSB color, toColor returns a regular Unity color. And that's what actually does the conversions. So let's see what this does. All we're going to do now is attach this to, oh, this isn't going to work, is it? It has 2 texture maps. Okay, it'll be faster to do it this way. Alright, so what I was going to do was render.material.color. I could specify the specific material by going through and getting the proper material and referencing it by name and doing all this stuff. But this already creates another problem. If you were to do this in a bunch of different areas that wanted to flash the same way in a bunch of different places, you'd have a separate draw call for each right now, because whenever you reference renderer.material, it creates a new cached copy of that material. So let's instead change our strategy a little bit here, and this will solve both problems with one stone. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a public what is it called? Public material array called materials to change. And so now what we're going to do is set it so that for each material in materials change, now we just do mat.color. So let's see how we use this now. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach this to something in the scene. I'm going to go with, usually like to do, let's just do a separate game object. Create empty. We're going to call this material effects. And we're going to throw our random material hue on material effects. And then materials to change, all we have to do is give it ship colors 2. And if we hit play, we have a flashing ship ending thing. Yay.
That's pretty cool.
Now, it's still kind of darker than I'd want, though it's definitely at the highest saturation, brightness, and alpha. And that's because this is actually still taking a light. So I want to actually adjust this material slightly to be vertex lit. Wait, no, that won't change the thing, will it? Yeah, that didn't really fix it. Self-illuminating, diffuse. There we go. There. Now it's,
wow.
Yeah.
Look at it go.
Now it's that crazy brightness that you want out of those type of effects. So there we go, and just little simple random colors. You could change it to be progressive too if you wanted it to be more of a like rainbow scintillation effect. You could actually have it just cycle a certain amount in the hue per frame and then cycle over at 1.0. And that'll create this rainbow effect when you cycle through it that all blends nicely together. But I'm just going to keep it at the random for now because it looks more old school arcadey. So other things we could address. Let's add some collision and scoring.
I'm getting you something else.
Oh, what's the something else you're getting me?
Bullet.
Bullet. Oh, okay.
Just keep getting these assets.
All right, awesome. I'm down with it.
And I'm sending you the ship colors again. I just used the same image. It doesn't really matter. You can always replace it. So
okay, cool.
You should have that in just a moment.
So while that's coming in, let's look. Okay, I think it already came in.
Hey, it's
a
me.
Bullet. Funny, this is the most your face gets shown in an episode typically.
Hey, I'm sending an email.
All right. Throw this into models, not prefabs. Don't want it to get confused.
Now you can see what it looks like.
So let's see what our bullet looks like. Yeah.
So
that's shooting into the Z, right?
I don't know.
Oh, please tell me it's shooting into the Z so I don't have to rotate it.
Oh, you're probably going to have to rotate it. It's Blender.
Bah.
The Z from Blender is not the same Z as Unity.
Okay, sorry. Pointing into the Y then. Whatever's forward on Blender. All right.
I don't pay attention to that stuff.
In general, if you are a modeler, please save your programmers some trouble and make sure everything's pointed into the scene. Whatever modeling system you use, make sure it's pointed into the scene.
Well, it's pointing toward the Y.
That might be it. That might be good. Let's find out.
Let's see if it's rotated.
I should be doing calculate on the normals, right?
Yeah.
And we should not be...
There's no rigging.
Rigging or...
That would be funny if it had rigging. Though.
Yeah, it would. Gross little legs. All right.
Let's see how it is on there. I mean, you could...
Destroy an object multiple times. Destroyed an object multiple times. Okay, whatever.
Okay. Oh, look at the bullet's a different color now.
Oh, because it's using the other shader. That's awesome. That's awesome. That'll actually look kind of cool, I think.
I think so too.
So let's. It might be a little too psychedelic. Let's find out though. So we've got bullets. Let's look at our bullet here. Yeah, that's a hell of an improvement. That's promising though that it's looking the same kind of direction. I think.
Yeah, I think that is. I think I made it right.
So I'm going to go ahead and create a new prefab and put bullet into it.
I'm interested to see if it's correct.
Fancy bullet.
I'm actually really interested to see if it worked right.
And fancy bullets, we can just put as a child to this probably. Don't replace. Okay, so let's. That scared me too much. So I'm gonna instantiate a bullet. I'm gonna instantiate fancy bullet. I'm gonna throw the fancy bullet into the bullet. I'm gonna get rid of the mesh renderer on here and the mesh filter on here. And then finally, let's drag this back in as a prefab, and I'm going to call this, okay, I don't know what I'm going to call this. I'm going to just, let's make sure it works first. I'm just going to call bullet 1 for right now. Let's just make sure it works.
I'm interested to see how this thing...
So let's see how this looks when rotated.
I'm wondering if the rotation along the Y is wrong. If it comes out looking like more of a typical diamond, then it's a problem. It should be more like a diamond on the side. Well, that's just regular bullet.
Yeah, that's because I didn't actually... Shit. Okay. Scared me for a second. There were so few objects, so twin blaster, that's what I need to change. So we want to just change this to bullet 1 for right now. And bullet 1.
Let's see it. Oh, that's cool.
Yep, it's working.
I think it's the right placement and everything. Cool.
What's funny about that is it doesn't look like it necessarily, but...
Actually, is it backwards? You know what you should do is you should shoot something.
Definitely shooting forwards.
And then we could look at it in the game
right, so let's do that. And pause.
Okay, now we can find a bullet object and see where they are and look at how they're facing. Oh, it is right. It is right.
Totally
Actually,
right.
no, it's backwards.
That's backwards?
Mm-hmm.
Your bullet's backwards. That's the right way to do it.
Well, then that works.
Okay.
My bullet was backwards.
If you want, I'll turn it around.
No,
says it
fine.
should be the other way.
That looks good.
That's what I don't care either way, but that's what the Star Fox one actually looks like.
That's what we're gonna do.
It has a long tail.
That's what we're gonna do.
But yeah. So what I find funny is, as you can see when you pause it, all of the objects that are flashing are the same color every frame. But when it's moving, it's very, very difficult to tell. Like, it looks like there's multiple colors on the screen in every frame, but there's not.
No.
That's entirely persistence of vision.
And how are the draw calls on that? Since they're all using the same texture, it's not a big deal.
Draw calls 8.
Fantastic. Yeah, the ship by itself will be 2 draw calls, and
I don't even think we clean up the bullets yet, do we?
You know, I don't think we do. We might want to think about that, though.
Yeah, let's go ahead and add an off-screen one just for a little bit to clean up. So I'm just going to add the catch-all destroy on invisible to it. And I'm going to delete this one.
Oh, poor Fancy Bullet.
It's going to be called Fancy Bullet again.
Oh, okay, cool.
Make sure that everything still works.
Getting the art on.
Getting the art on.
Yeah, I think that looks pretty neato. It's a little bit more colorful now. Then you can barrel roll.
Yeah, you can barrel roll.
What do you shoot when you barrel roll? doesn't account for that, does it?
Oh, weird.
So we need to start. We could account for that.
Oh yeah, that's easy. You just do this. Make
those children of the jet model.
Yeah, jet model.
The spheres, I'm assuming, are the targeting reticules.
There we
That's
go.
Cool.
There you go. Now you can.
I'm pretty happy with that, actually.
All right, cool. Done a little bit of artwork kind of stuff. Awesome.
Yep.
That'll get people more familiar with the art portion of things, which I have sorely neglected in this show.
Well, I can do basic modeling.
Well, that's still, it shows how the asset pipeline works, which is important.
Yeah.
So what are we doing next? Let's make it so these rings have collision and the arches have collision, and let's make it so that we get score when we go through the rings, and let's make some sort of target to shoot at as well. And then let's call that a night. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at a ring here, and we're going to spawn one in. And right now our ring has a whole lot of nothing going on. So why does it... Oh, you modeled the ring here, didn't you? Okay, so camera and lamp are evil and don't need to be there, right?
No, they don't. Yeah, you can get rid of them.
Let's just apply that to the prefab, whatever. Let's do the same thing with the arch. We don't need the lamp and the camera. Delete. That didn't work, did it? All right, let's do it from here. Camera, lamp, delete, continue, apply. Even though it broke the prefab connection, you can still reapply. Alright, so we're looking at our ring. Now, our ring here, we could use, in the collision episode of Cooking with Unity, we go through actually something very similar to this ring thing and assigning collision to it. And what it basically says in that episode is there's a few different ways you can do it. One of the problems here is the ring is a concave object, and concave objects are already unhappy when you have collisions applied to them. I believe that concave meshes can only collide with other mesh objects. They can't collide with other primitives in Unity. And there's a few other problems involved with that, and you can always make it convex, but then you don't have a hole in the center, so you're always hitting the ring. And the solution to this is to actually use sub-colliders. And so that's what we're going to actually set up here. So, so this is the actual geometry. I wonder if I can just pull that out. Probably can. Guess I don't technically need the... Oh, no, I do need the parent because the rotations... I don't know. Whatever. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put the rigid body... Actually, we probably don't even need a rigid body in this case, but I'm going to make one. So we're going to do a rigid body here. And we're going to not use gravity, and we're going to set it as kinematic. And then we're going to, as child objects of this, create empty game objects. Collision geo. So this one will have a box collider. Put this at 0, and we're going to make a component physics box collider. So if you have a rigid body on the top of as the parent of a bunch of other things that have just colliders, it will actually combine all the colliders to determine the rigid body reaction. So we can go ahead and do that here. So we can, what is it called? Collision Geo. So this box collider just puts box in the center here. We are going to go ahead and make the collider a little bit bigger horizontally. I'm just going to do the top part first. And we're going to just move this up here. And that looks pretty good. Looks good enough for what I'm doing right now. So let's go ahead and duplicate this. And now we're going to move this one down to the bottom here. As a matter of fact, what is this one set at? 2.49. Let's call that 2.5. And let's call this 2.5. Things will not line up this nicely if you're working with a quote-unquote real artist who probably has like not everything nicely lined up at mathematical numbers like you do.
I can't help myself.
So
it's something that
so you may have to do more finagling in some cases. So let's duplicate that again, except for this time we're going to do, well, we're going to do, let's set all of these to
math is your friend.
2. And then let's find one of these and set it back to 1 and set it to 2 here. And then we move it into position. So 0 and -2, 5. Go 3, duplicate, move it over. Go 4. And then finally we have the 45-degree angle one. So let's take the Geo one, duplicate it, and let's rotate it in the Z. Nope, not in the Z because this thing's at a weird angle. So whatever, we'll just keep rotating until we get one that we like.
Okay, that's a good idea.
That's scaling, that's not rotating. There we go, that's the one we want. So we'll just set this to 45, and then we'll just go somewhere around there, I guess. A little trickier on this one, so we're going to have to tweak it a little bit more. So let's make it thinner, 0.75, 0.75. I'm going to call that good enough. So 0. What are we doing now? 3. No, that was terrible. It should be 0. 7.5 sounds good. 7.5 sounds good.
Yeah, I can't be a real artist because I use too many nice numbers.
So we'll call this 5. And then we'll just duplicate and rotate for the rest of them. Where does it get these numbers from?
Mathemagic land.
You need to read more about how floating point is handled so that you have less of these problems. So this one, actually we'll just duplicate this and go across like we did before. Which I could have probably just put negatives here. That would have been smarter. We'll do that the next time around, I swear. So that's 6. And duplicate 6. And finally we do a rotation to -45. And 0, 0. And we get rid of one of these. There we go. And finally one more. Near in the bend here. This is the ditch digging portion of computer science. So, oops. I said I would do it the other way this time, and I'm doing it the other way. Negative and positive. There. So we should have, yep, all of them are there. And actually, if you select the ring, you'll see now all have collision around it. So the way we're going to test this is I'm going to actually turn it off from kinematic, and I'm going to make it so that it has a restraint on position but not on rotation. And so now if we tink on the edge of one of these, it should actually rotate out, hopefully if we have our collision working, which I'm not even sure what our ship's collision is at right now, so we'll see what this actually does.
Oh, that's a good point.
I'm not even sure if I hit that thing.
I don't think you did.
I don't know.
I think you were too far away still.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm...
Let's should check the ship's collision.
Okay, I definitely hit that one because I saw the spheres go through it. So let's see what we've got for our ship. Oh, wait. I didn't apply this to the rings. So let me just apply. And now delete. And now we're going to try it again. Guess I could have kept the one there so that I could see if we hit it.
Oh.
Looks about lined up, right? Okay, yeah, still not colliding. So let's see what we got for our ship. So we have jet model, cube. Yeah, nothing has a collider on it whatsoever. So let's create a... So we don't need the camera, the lamp, or the lamp too, right? We don't need these things?
I don't believe so, no.
Let's delete these. Continue. Apply. Alright, so jet model. So where do we want the collider? We could put it at the jet level, probably. Or do we want it at the ship level? No, we probably want it at the jet model level just because this rotates when we bank, and so we want to be able to bank through narrow passages and have that actually mean something. Which we might do multiple colliders for like wings and stuff if we wanted to get really fancy, but I'm just going to do a single box collider for right now. So we're going to just create physics box collider. While I'm at it, I'm going to create a physics rigid body and set it to is kinematic. This can sometimes help with collision problems, so I'm just going to do that right off the bat. And we're going to finally set this size to something a little bit more meaningful. So that looks about right. And let's make the X size a little bit, no, oops, the Z size, I guess, a little bit wider. So they'll give you some on the wing tips there. So now let's hit play and see what we get. So hopefully we'll smash into one of these rings and it'll start rotating. It's an easy way to tell that this stuff is working. That's the main reason we set it up, and we may keep it if it's cool anyway, but... Oh, it did something.
It tinged it.
It tinged it. Yep, definitely works.
That's awesome.
So now what we're also going to do is we're going to bring our ring in, and we're going to add a another collider in here. Though this one is going to be... How do we handle this? I think what we're going to do is we're going to create another collision geometry in here. We're going to call this the collision center. And this one we're going to set as a trigger. I'm going to set all this stuff to 0 just because it's going to be near the center anyway. Oops, one. And finally, let's actually make it... So let's make this a sphere instead of a box collider. It's actually technically cheaper than a box collider too, so... Sphere, so even though the sphere object has a lot of polygons, the sphere collider does not. It just does a distance check, so it's actually one of the fastest collision checks you can do.
That's awesome.
So let's set the radius to 1, 2. 2 looks good. That looks real good. So we somehow managed to not hit that. I don't know what we're doing wrong. So this shouldn't make it so that the thing causes problems with our other collision because it's a trigger. So the ship should just fly through the center if we hit center, and it should actually ting if we don't hit center. So that looks like it's still working. May have to adjust the spawn points because I'm still having to go off screen to hit some of these.
So if you do hit center, it's not going to do it.
Yep, but if you hit the edge, it should tink. Yeah,
we need to adjust the spawn position.
Tink. So this collision center, let's just make it so that there is a, let's make a real quick score manager. Score manager.
Manage that score.
Alright, so all we're going to use for this is score manager, model behavior. Let's just do public int score equals 0, and that's it. Just do that. That's the, oh wait, yeah, we need a little bit more. Let's do void, let's actually see the score on GUI. GUI layout dot label, and then we're just going to do score.
You ready for this?
Plus, are you sending me more art?
No,
I'm not ready for it.
Too bad.
Well, we're not using it tonight.
We should.
What is it for?
It's crosshair.
Okay, maybe we'll use that. Maybe.
We should.
The crosshair or box hair?
It's a box hair.
Excellent. I'm very happy about that. I'm glad you knew exactly what I was saying too.
It's a box with some little
perfect. I like it.
How else would I make that?
All right. So what this will do is this will just print whatever the score is. So if we attach this score manager to something, I'm going to just create a new object called score manager. Score manager. We can get rid of this ring that exists here. Actually, we need to apply it first and then get rid of it. Delete. And the score manager, all we're going to do is put the score manager on it. And if we hit play, we should see a 0 in the upper left-hand corner that says score. Perfect, cool. We have a score manager. The barest of bones of score manager.
Make sure that the score manager works. It should fly through a circle.
Well, I'm not making any points yet. It won't. It works. Okay. That was the extent of what it does right now. So
we should get those crosshairs.
So yeah, let's do it. So let's make it so. Well,
I'm just so excited.
We'll get the crosshairs in just a second. We'll do it right after this. I swear. So so what we're gonna do is add to score on trigger enter. That looks good. Overly descriptive as usual.
Yeah, that's fine.
Add to score on trigger enter. So all we do is we do a public int point value equals default to 100, and then all we do is, oh yeah, we need the public game object. We should make the score manager a singleton so we don't have to reference it. Let's just do the reference and then we can fix it later, and then you'll see why singletons are cool. So public game object score manager. So all we're going to do is void update. Sorry, void on collision enter. And we don't care if it collides with. Right now, it'll just give points if anything goes in there or whatever. We'll see how this works. Score manager dot score.
Even bullets?
It's called score, right? Yeah, score dot score. Why is it not saying score? Oh, it's not a game object. It says score manager. What was that?
Even bullets? With bullets?
Oh yeah, bullets. Well, they'll go through right now, but what's the best way to handle this?
Well, let's just
honestly, I like doing it this way because then we are forced to actually fix things in the collision manager.
Exactly.
So, that score plus equals point value. So if we throw this onto specifically the collision center of our ring. And we actually, oh wait, okay, so here's why it's nice to use. So I can reference a score manager, but I can't reference that in a prefab because our score manager only exists here, so I'm already screwed. So I could either do a workaround that involves tags and stuff, or I could just make this a real freaking singleton. So I think I'm going to do the
real
singleton. Ladder. Do I have anything here that's already a singleton by any chance? No, I don't.
I think we should handle the singleton.
Yeah, all right.
At some point.
I'm just going to... All right, let's do your thing first.
Okay. I gave you a black texture.
Okay, fine. So
you don't need to use the black texture.
Oops.
It's just something that I used.
So all we have to do is throw our crosshair into here.
Art we've gotten on this episode.
Models.
So
quite a few here, so...
See what it is.
Crosshair. Oh wow, it's not even a crappy crosshair or a thing.
No.
Oh, that's really cool, actually. I like that.
Yeah. Hopefully I got the normals right.
So let's go ahead and keep our previous scale for everything.
Calculate that stuff.
Calculate all that junk. Hit apply.
Yeah, it looks like the normals are right.
None.
That's what you were hoping for when you were talking about a square hair?
Yep, box hair. Box hair.
Box hair.
All right, cool.
So that should help with the, instead of the circles,
so
we can use that
let's spawn out our... Let's create a new prefab.
Oh, if you notice inside the crosshair, I made a few fixes, too. There's not a light or a camera, and it should be called crosshair instead of cube.
Oh, nice. Wow, it is called crosshair, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And because it didn't have those things, it's just all there.
It's
that's actually much better.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, that's
cool.
how I'll do it from now on.
Cool. Live and learn. All right. So what did you have to change in Blender for that?
I just had to get rid of, in the upper right in the all scenes, there actually is a light by default and a camera by default, and you
have to
start with the cube, so you have to name it.
Okay, cool.
So
cool.
There we are.
Much cleaner. Awesome. So now all we have to do is, so we've got our ship here. We can just throw this into the jet model, grab one of the spheres, grab...
where was the position?
Copy component. And then we could go to our crosshair and then paste component values. And we don't need the rotation.
Yeah.
Bam. And we wait.
What? What?
Okay, whatever. We'll just... One of these will be right.
It's the Z.
It's the Z, alright.
This is the problem with some of the art stuff. But...
Actually, let's keep that scale there. That's like perfect. And then let's do the same thing. Just duplicate it again. Get rid of this sphere. Delete.
Oh no!
And then this one we will copy the sphere position. These component values.
And it might be to the side again. That second one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. No.
And that's kind of cool.
I'm actually going to make them a little bit bigger now.
Oh, look at that! Look at that sphere. Did you see the ring spinning around
actually,
like mad?
Yeah, because I shot it with a bullet.
Yeah.
Are those bullets rotating when they haven't hit anything?
Bullets? They shouldn't be.
It looks like they Oh, are they hitting each other?
If that's the case, that would be awesome. I don't know, you can pause it and take a look at some of the bullets. Oh, they are definitely spinning. Why are they spinning? That's interesting. Are they colliding with the ship?
Oh, probably, yeah. Here, let's see. I guess they have collision on them. Let's see. And blaster, the bullets are...
They have a mesh render, or box collider. They certainly do.
They do. All right, cool. So, so yeah, that's funny. So let's actually start looking at layering these things. So these already have a layer, good. Let's go to the jet and make sure it has a freaking layer. So this one is...
It has default.
Layer. Yeah, sure, why not? Actually, no, this object only.
The crosshair shouldn't have any collision.
Yeah.
You can give them a color if you want to, instead of just gray. Make it black.
Okay, fine. Want to do black?
Or red, one of the two.
Black or red?
Mm-hmm.
Not like green or blue or...
No, red.
Alright.
I like red.
Let's actually do it with the unlit as well. Or wait, sorry.
Or
self-illuminating diffuse.
Yeah. They're going to be nice and bright. Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And let's go ahead and make them bigger. So...
Oh, you could actually do that on the prefab or on the import itself too, I bet.
Yeah, but I don't really want to adjust it at the import level on this,
Okay.
because we're going to have two different sizes for it anyway. So
Wait,
the one that's further away is
probably 0.5. I get very excited about importing my assets. That's cool. Now we have to fix the spinning of the bullets. Are they spinning still?
Yeah, they are when they get out there. They get some English on them at some point, or maybe they're not doing it at all now.
I like the ones that just fly off.
Yeah. This is kind of stupid now that we have this stuff going.
Yeah. Kind of stupid awesome, you mean?
Yeah, so do we get points actually when we fly through these things?
Oh no, the score manager isn't being referenced properly.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Singleton.
Because, yeah, we didn't fix that yet. Okay, let me do that real quick.
Right.
Score manager, score manager, score manager. Alright, let's, I'm just going to dig through a folder real quick. Unity scripts, Max, manager, singleton. Throw this in here. I swear that I'm going to have a boilerplate singleton somewhere that I will always have access to easily for whatever reason. I've said this 16 times, I think, so far.
Yeah,
in the history of the show.
I think we need to do that at some point.
Yeah, I thought we had done it on one of the episodes. I'd finally done it. So, score manager. So we're just going to paste this stuff from my music thing. I'm going to change it all to be score manager, get rid of this part because that's magic, and score manager.
Fantastic.
That should do it. And now we can just do add to score. We don't need to reference the score manager anymore. We can now just simply do score manager dot instance dot score. And I'm going to go ahead and put the $sign on here because it's going to do that by itself anyway, and I want it to do that. So we hit play, and I'm going to try and get some points.
All right.
Oh no, I shot it. Score 0. I not applied this to the...
You may not have. I don't remember.
Alright, what do we got on our
ring?
Ring prefab.
Got a big fat nothing.
Yep, doesn't have it. So we need to add score. Add to score on trigger. We still have that ring at the beginning that we don't need anymore, don't we?
You know, I'm not to toot my own horn or anything, but I really like those crosshairs.
Yeah, I like the way that those came out.
But toot toot.
Toot toot toot. Oh, no score.
No score, huh?
Why didn't I get score? That makes me so sad.
Yeah, me too.
Alright. What we got on add score plus equals point value. That should do it.
I don't know. Score manager itself is there. Should be working. Ooh. Excuse me.
Curious if I shoot through here if it'll work, because we haven't changed what the... Nope, still not getting anything. Let's pause it and see if these things have the colliders we expect of them. Center definitely has it. Yes, marked as a trigger. It says add to score on trigger, enter. Oh, that's the problem. On trigger, enter. So now these things should get score all to hell as soon as we start shooting at them even. Hopefully. Or it's... There we go!
Oh yeah, got score, one. Score!
And when I flew through, it went through, yay! Hooray, alright.
Alright, that's working.
So let's make it so that the collision center, we're going to put this on layer, we're going to create a new layer, we're going to call it bonus. The bonus layer will only be collidable by the player and not bullets and stuff.
Oh, neat.
So we're going to go ahead and set this to the bonus layer now. Always remember to do that. When you do add new layer, it does not change it automatically. And we get caught by that quite a bit.
Yeah.
So project settings.
Physics.
Physics, thank you. So we want player bullets. We don't want them to hit bonus. Wait, where's player bullets? So we don't want them to hit bonus. Okay, bonus, player bullets. So we don't want them to hit bonus. We want the player to hit bonus. Probably don't want the player colliding with player. We don't really use these other layers, so I'm just going to leave them kind of as is. Player bullets don't need to hit with player bullets either.
Good. I think that's probably good right there, actually.
Yeah, that's good for right now. So let's go ahead and hit play. So now, oh wait, we also want to make it so that the player bullets. Do we want the player bullets to hit tink on the rings?
I think we kind of.
Okay, let's keep it. Let's keep it.
Yeah, I think we should.
All right. So we've got the rings tinking. They don't get score when you shoot through them anymore, but when you go through them, you get points. Yep. Yay.
Good deal.
Yeah.
And the player bullets don't collide with each other. They collide with the ground, though, still, right?
Yep, they should. At least, hopefully, yep.
Yep, they are.
Occasionally they get through. That's
fine.
Okay. We've got a really thin collision, and we're moving the bullets kind of fast.
Yeah. Well, I'd say that's pretty cool.
Let's go ahead and add a collider to the arch. Actually, we're about at time.
Yeah.
Let's call that the episode for right now. So
got quite a bit done.
Yep, we got certainly a lot more done than we did last episode, I feel.
Yeah.
So next episode we'll probably do another level. I want to do a little kind of cutscene transition and then another level type thing going on, and then probably put some enemies in the second level.
Yeah, I'll try to make an enemy.
Yeah, sounds good. That's perfect. And thank you for joining us tonight. If you'd like to contact me, please email me at pushypixels@pushypixels.com, and you can also tweet me at Drakfire.
And you can, if you want to send me an email commenting on my silly little models, you can. You can send it to philip@protosoftworks.com. You can also follow me on Twitter, and that's @magmalemur. You should totally buy Proton Pulse, by the way. Pick up Proton Pulse. It's on the iOS, the Mac. There's a demo version of it for the Oculus Rift. Yeah, it's good stuff. The Oculus Rift version is fantastic, by the way. I will have to say, it's pretty amazing. Check it out if you have an Oculus Rift.
All right, and you should definitely check out Automation. It's on iOS and Android, right?
No, it's just iOS.
Just iOS. Okay,
I
iOS.
support Android.
All right,
yet.
Sweet. I don't have as much to talk to you about yours. Dang it, I feel bad.
No, I just get to keep going for a while.
All right, cool.
Oh, you can also get Proton Pulse on the Ouya if you have one of those.
Okay.
Get it on the Ouya, too.
All right, so yes, and again, automation. Awesome game. Get it. On the one thing that it's on.
It's a game.
It's a game. Wasn't that the working title?
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's a game! All right. So thank you for joining us, and you have a wonderful week.
Have a good night.